think for a moment I'm over the hill, 'cause I am older, or because I've been ill. Life has been filled with bumps in the road, but I've learned how to face them and carry that load.
In making our plan for an empowered elderhood, we need to be skilled in avoiding those services and situations that see us as old and over the hill. In this episode, we will address some key things you need to be aware of to assure that the help you are seeking will help you continue to fully live life. You don't need so-called help that writes you off because of your age. You don't need help that is simply promoting whatever they are selling as something you must have just because you are older. Some of the key things to be aware of at this age are: is the care or service restorative? Is someone overseeing my medication and potential side effects? What should you look for if seeking memory care? The reasons for having durable power of attorney and healthcare proxy. Then we'll cover a couple of additional considerations. First, ensure that the help you are being offered is restorative in nature, not custodial. Dr. Marjorie Warren has been called the mother of geriatric medicine in Great Britain. As early as 1930, almost 100 years ago, she warned about what is known as learned helplessness, harming older people. This is a prominent problem in many assisted living communities. When residents need help with bathing, dressing, toileting, getting around, or other care, a care assistant simply does it for them. This is known as custodial care. When someone does these tasks to or for the resident rapidly gets to the point that they cannot do it for themselves. In fact, the average assisted living resident is only able to stay in assisted living for 22 months before deteriorating to the point of needing nursing home care. This is not what you need if you are going to be able to maintain a life of empowered elderhood. In contrast, in restorative care, the service works for you and often joins with therapy partners to help you get back to being able to do as much for yourself as possible, reclaiming an empowered elderhood. Thus, there is a major difference in restorative care and custodial care. Elders who live in communities that focus on restorative care stay there for an average of 7 years or more. You want an assisted living that is accredited as a bounce-back restorative care community. Remember that the key to everything you do, every service you consider, is to ask the question, is this restorative? Will this be helpful in allowing you to reclaim those things that are important in your life? What are the things you identified on your vision board? Is whatever you are considering something that will give you joy, meaning, and purpose by helping you get better? Will it enable you to use tools or technology to do more? Is it beneficial to have help by using outside services? All of these are designed to restore your ability to continue to live a full life. The following overview for new employees of how Bounce Back in Assisted Living works will help you understand it and why you might want to have it if you go to assisted living.
There are two ways to provide care to older people: custodial care and restorative care. You are probably more familiar with the idea of custodial care. If a person you are caring for is unable to do something for themselves, you help by doing it for them. So, you wheel them to the dining room, you comb their hair and brush their teeth, you take them to the shower and bathe them, or you may help them to the toilet when they have to go. Unfortunately, with custodial care, as you do for a resident, they very quickly get to the point that they can no longer do the task for themselves. Use it or lose it is true. They become more dependent, more frail, and they end up becoming too impaired for assisted living and must be transferred to a nursing home. They do not end up being able to age in place. Restorative care uses a different approach. Your goal is always to provide care assistance in ways that, if at all possible, make them stronger, increase their endurance, help them focus, or improve their level of independence. By doing that, you help prevent their deterioration and often can even help them become more independent than when they first moved in. This helps prevent falls, reduces the likelihood they will have to be sent out to the hospital, and plays a major role in helping them do what they want: age in place and avoid a nursing home. The more you help residents you are caring for become more independent, the more you are helping meet everyone's goal, which is to be able to age in place. Often it is as simple as slowly increasing the part the resident does of a task until once again it becomes easy for him. As you become part of the team here assisting residents, you will discover a great sense of accomplishment as you are able to help residents become as resilient as possible. Working with your fellow team members and the residents themselves, you will begin to see the residents' glass not as half empty, but instead as half full and able to be replenished, realizing their potential and avoiding ending up in a nursing home. Your help will make all the difference for your residents' future, and in knowing that, you realize that your work is truly making a difference.
A major area to monitor to assure that a service is indeed restorative is how it uses prescription medication. Polypharmacy is the use of multiple medications, typically 5 or more. This can result in drug cascade, where the side effect of one medicine is treated as a new illness and another medication is prescribed. It is well known among those in the field of geriatrics that elders are prescribed too much medication. A common problem is that multiple physicians prescribe different drugs for whatever they are treating. However, they do not pay close attention to other things the patient may be taking. Also, other physicians are hesitant to discontinue what another physician prescribed. Soon the person is taking 18 or 20 different prescriptions. Researchers report that anytime an older person is taking more than 5 prescriptions and supplements, drug cascade is occurring and no one really knows the side effects of them being taken together.
Aging matters.
I think that as we age, we begin to add medicines and nothing's really taken away. Suddenly we've got 15 or 20 meds and maybe our patient is taking so many medicines they don't even want to eat anymore.
When we see patients that come into the office that may be taking multiple medications, it's not at all uncommon to have some sort of complaint or potential adverse event that may be a direct result of that medication. You can have falls, fractures, sleepiness, dizziness. You can even have cognition issues in regards to certain over-the-counter medicines, not even necessarily prescription medicines. My philosophy as an internist and as a geriatrician is the least amount of medicine for the shortest period of time, because they all have trade-offs and side effects. And everything we do in practicing and prescribing medications is risk versus benefits. So if we can get to goal without a medication, I think that's win-win.
To protect your goals of elderhood, from a restorative perspective, you want to do all you can to prevent drug side effects. These can include falls, confusion, behavioral issues, incontinence, sleep disorders, dehydration, or other symptoms that put you at risk rather than actually working to restore your potential. Work with a knowledgeable pharmacist to do an annual review of all the medications you are taking. Having some memory challenges does not mean you need a memory care unit. Never let someone give you a short memory test, then declare you have dementia. An accurate diagnosis takes place over time and monitors changes using much more comprehensive tests, usually administered by a psychologist or psychiatrist. There are many reasons for cognitive difficulty that need to be ruled out first, including a medication that is causing cognitive symptoms like confusion or lethargy. Cognitive difficulty can be caused by infections such as urinary tract or pneumonia, or by residual effects of anesthesia, vitamin B12 deficiency, depression, hearing or vision loss, or dehydration. These all should be thoroughly evaluated and treated before considering a memory unit. If you choose a memory unit, you will want one where residents have an opportunity to socially interact with residents of assisted living and independent living, rather than simply being locked up with others with memory problems. The best memory units utilize Montessori principles that focus on person-centered care and seek to be restorative. Here is a newscast that describes how Montessori strategies can be effective in memory care.
You hear the term Montessori, you probably think of a method for teaching children. Researchers say those same techniques yield remarkable outcomes for seniors with dementia. An assisted living facility in Fenville, Lifehouse, has been using a Montessori-based dementia programming since January. 24 Hour News 8's Steve Kelso is looking into how it works.
Let's see what other blocks we have here.
At first glance, it may look like child's play, but the founder of Montessori-based dementia programming says these types of exercises are keeping mind sharp and active among seniors in various stages of dementia.
The ability to learn is available to people with dementia if we use the abilities they still have, if we use the right teaching techniques. And this is where Montessori teaches us how to teach.
The Montessori philosophy allows for the self-direction of learning.
We started with blocks, and we started by having her, she was stacking them and she was squeezing them and talking about the texture and the colors, and it turned into a storytelling. And that's part of the Montessori-based dementia program, is that the residents get to have that independence and help run the activity.
Among the accomplishments claimed by researchers is a reduction in medication, an increased activity level, and far fewer episodes of wandering. But they are quick to add, this is not a cure for dementia.
That's a long way off. What we are talking about, however, is living and trying to live well.
In Fenville, Steve Kelso, 24-Hour News 8.
To help assure you have the opportunity to continue to have an empowered elderhood, you will want to appoint both a durable power of attorney and a healthcare proxy. These are trusted people in your life you have given permission to speak and act for you only if you cannot act for yourself. Here is a brief description from an attorney about these vital elements.
Advanced directives, like a healthcare directive and power of attorney, are there in case you lose mental capacity due to accidents or cognitive issues like dementia or Alzheimer's. A quality healthcare proxy determines who can tell doctors what to do if you can't. It explains what types of care you do or do not want, and it has HIPAA release language so that the person you put in charge has access to your medical records and can better carry out your wishes. A quality power of attorney lets someone else handle your finances for you if ever you can't, and it has sufficient controls to ensure your wishes will be carried out. Not all advanced directives are the same, and it's important to have documents that are a perfect fit for you. The alternative is an expensive guardianship proceeding where a judge, not you, determines who is in charge.
Be wise in selecting the services you plan to use. As they say, the devil is in the details. Medicare Advantage plans are private plans that are an alternative to regular Medicare. Often they are less expensive, but you also frequently get significantly less coverage of the services you need to restore you, such as rehabilitation. Regular Medicare has better coverage for rehabilitation than Medicare Advantage plans. Also, be wary of those who encourage you to select hospice care primarily so you can access free equipment or help. Hospice can be valuable if you are not expected to live more than 6 months and are not actively fighting that outcome. Getting hospice care generally will make you ineligible for restorative care or even treatment for other potentially treatable but life-threatening problems. Getting free things generally is not a good reason to sign up for hospice care. If you require nursing home care, your best options are those affiliated with a program known as the Eden Alternative. Watch this short video describing the program, and you will easily see how the Eden Alternative encourages a full life and empowered elderhood in spite of limitations.
The poet Dylan Thomas wrote that we should all rage against the dying of the light. But in most of the 17,000 nursing homes across America, there is very little rage to be seen. And the only light is often the flickering of the TV screen. But at the Tioga Nursing Home in upstate New York, they're proving it doesn't have to be that way.
Here comes Ed.
Nursing homes were always modeled after hospitals, and very cleanly and very sterile and very boring. We didn't like the boring. We liked it to be fun.
So Tioga's administrator, Maria Landy, convinced her board of directors to try something she'd heard about, an experimental program called the Eden Alternative.
It was a total change in philosophy, a change in treatment, and a change in values. Philosophy is that a nursing home is not a place to go to die, but a place to go and have help with living. In terms of values, we value the seniors and their quality of life.
What you up to?
Hopping up the bird.
Well, they need help, I guess, don't they?
The Eden Alternative is the brainchild of Dr. William Thomas, who says he looked back to one of the world's oldest stories for inspiration and realized that God did not create a nursing home for Adam and Eve.
We have gone very terribly wrong, and we need an alternative to what we're doing now. and that alternative should be Eden. We should set ourselves on a road toward the Garden of Eden.
True to its name, the Eden Alternative floods a nursing home with life.
You want to play with her a minute, Rika?
It's not like the animals aren't in a certain place. They're everywhere. We have one dog that knows how to operate the elevator now.
There were a lot of us that thought it was crazy in the beginning. I was afraid people tripping on animals and things like that more than anything. And a lot of people are afraid of cats jumping on them and things, but they seem to adapt it very well.
Today, a dozen dogs and cats who all came from the pound, as well as 400 birds, call Tioga home.
It's more homier with plants and the pets. Of course, pets are nice for a lot of them. You know, they love to pet them, love them.
I used to have a dog as long as I can remember my boyhood. And without a dog, it wasn't a home.
Besides the cats and dogs and birds, Tioga is also home to giant rabbits, a pot-bellied pig who lives in the physical therapy unit, a pet chinchilla who likes to snuggle, and there are even visitors like Nutmeg, a Shetland pony who still makes house calls.
Hi there.
Even if she does have a tendency to stick her nose where it doesn't belong.
What's his name? Ow.
96-year-old Harold Amrine says it's given him a reason to go on.
I thought I'd never make it. I thought I'd die. I said I never would go to a nursing home. All the activities they have here is terrific. We can't go wrong. You could recommend this to a millionaire.
And as the Eden program took hold, Dr. Thomas made an amazing discovery. The seniors were not only happier, they were also living longer. In his initial project, death rates dropped 25% compared to a similar non-Edenized facility.
If I had a drug that could do that, I mean, the world would be beating a path to my door. But this isn't a drug. This is an idea or an approach to genuine care.
And it wasn't only the death rate that dropped. The use of medications dropped substantially as well.
The problem wasn't that these people were under-medicated, it's that they were over-medicated and had too little companionship. I think companionship is the crucial missing link in these people's daily lives.
But Dr. Thomas knew one component of the Eden Alternative was still missing: children. Then, earlier this year, the local school superintendent had a casual conversation with Maria Landy.
He said, I've got these real problems. I can't figure out what I'm going to do. My enrollment's going up, and I have no place to put the kindergartners.
Tioga solved both problems at once. They renovated an adjacent building and opened 4 classrooms, bringing 100 5-year-olds onto the nursing home grounds, and several days a week into the nursing home itself for intergenerational activities.
There's a lot of years of experience of doing all kinds of things sitting right here in the walls. Seniors love to share that, and the kids love to hear stories. We had children studying railroads, and we have Bailey Railroad engineers here. Well, it's much more fun to talk to an engineer about what it was like to run a steam engine than it is to watch a tape.
Oh, I think it's wonderful for them. I mean, they get to see that, everybody's a little bit different, and there's lots of different things going on in the world.
Kathy Gillette's daughter, Maureen, was part of last year's kindergarten class.
And to be around the elderly is wonderful. To find out that they have a lot to offer, that they're not just some old people sitting in a building, that there's a lot of history and a lot to learn from them. And they had a great time.
It's like for them having 211 extra grandparents here. And they love it, and the residents love them. And that's how it should be.
Go swimming all around the room.
The seniors get a lot back as well, as you can see from the pleasure on their faces, and the signs of spring, even in these late autumn days.
If you think about it, it's logical. It's not something that's from outer space. It's normal. This is their home. This is what it should be like.
Now, you may be thinking, sure, the Eden Alternative is logical, but can the average nursing home afford it? The surprising answer is that the $30,000 annual Eden budget is only a tiny fraction of a nursing home's annual budget. With the senior population exploding, more and more people are finding traditional nursing homes simply unacceptable.
I believe we're going to change every nursing home in America. The boomer generation, they're looking at their mom and dad and they're saying, my mom and dad at a place like this? Are you kidding me? We got to do better than this. And I think that they're also thinking in the back of their mind, me? In a place like this? You gotta be kidding. And so there's a real impulse for change.
So, to maximize your independence and claim an empowered elderhood, deal with your bumps in the road in ways that help you bounce back and manage to make the most out of your life. If you need assisted living, choose one that provides restorative care. Be careful with your medications to avoid serious side effects. If you need memory care, try to find a place that uses Montessori methods, and, should you need a nursing home, find one associated with the Eden alternative. Only use hospice if you believe you are actively dying, not for free stuff. Choose regular Medicare over Medicare Advantage plans for better rehab coverage. And be sure you have a healthcare proxy and durable power of attorney to be sure your preferences are followed if you cannot speak for yourself. These strategies will help you get past the bumps in the road and develop the future you prefer. By learning to advocate for yourself and build your own plan around health-related issues, you can continue to lead the life of an empowered elder, still growing and making a difference. Don't forget, you are definitely not over the hill.
I have power to reclaim all my dreams. I have power far more than it seems. Power to take what is broken and fulfill all the dreams that I've spoken. I am